Hi, I'm Red McGraw of J Action Water Sports, and you're in the beautiful Nassau, Bahamas, and you're watching Carlisle's Picks.
Welcome again to another episode of Carlisle's Picks, and this is our travel edition, and we're traveling around the island of New Providence. We are right smack dab in the center of the island, and we actually confirmed that on the last episode, we did in fact turn back around on Carmichael Road. We were headed east on that road. We turned around, made a right turn onto Sir Milo Butler Highway, which has several roundabouts, and we're headed north. So in this episode, we're actually headed north on that road, and at some point, we're going to split over to Tonique William Darling Highway. That kind of heads west. And then another roundabout, we're going to be headed north on Prospect Ridge Road, which takes us all the way to the northern tip of the center of New Providence. From there, we're going to go through the roundabout and go west on West Bay Street, and we're going to end up at the Sheraton Hotel right there. That's in the Cable Beach area. But the most important part of this episode is that we finally learned the name of the actual island that we've been driving on. I've been giving you guys wrong information. I apologize. This is not the island of Nassau or Bahamas. I mean, we already know Bahamas consists of several islands, of which New Providence, which is the name of the island that we're on right now. That is the name of the island that we're on. This is one of the islands. And on the island of New Providence, you have a city called Nassau. And Nassau is the capital of the Bahamas. Finally got it right. So the island of New Providence sits right in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. It's 21 miles by 6.8 miles in size. That's 80 square miles. And the highest elevation is about 16 feet. So very flat. Not many hills in New Providence. 248,948 people, 85% so-called African, whatever that means, and then 12% European, and then the rest 3% are Asian and Hispanic. Just a little trivia for you. The name New Providence comes from the religious nature of a 16th century governor who gave thanks to divine providence, which can be used as a title for a god and is used to refer to God's intervention in the world. So little did you know how religious the name of the island itself is. It's something new every day. So let's give you a little history about New Providence. A little dark history of New Providence. Interesting, religious name, a little bit of a dark history. So what was New Providence all about? Way back in the day, New Providence was actually a pirate hangout. Har! That was horrible. That was horrible. Anyway, so basically pirates would hang out or hide out in New Providence, and they would try to prey on the Spanish ships that were returning to Spain with gold and silver and whatever other trinkets. So the city of Nassau was essentially pirate-controlled way back in, I believe, the 1600s. And who lived in New Providence, and more specifically Nassau, back in the day, way back in the day? Well, pirates, of course, privateers, and escaped slaves, and poachers. The height of the pirate era was between the 1715 to 1725 until the British came along. So during the American Revolutionary War, New Providence was actually captured 3 times. So there was a lot of battle and conflict in the history of New Providence between the Spanish and the British and the Americans and the pirates. All this is in the history of this tropical paradise. In the early 19th century, the Bahamas was mostly vacant. Then you had the American Civil War in 1861 to 1865, where there was a lot of activity in the Bahamas. And then Prohibition, when the Bahamas became a nice place to smuggle the distilled spirits. An estimated 2/3 of the 300,000 Bahamians live on New Providence. But that's slightly changing due to developments in Freeport and Grand Bahama. So right up ahead, we're approaching West Bay Street, and we're driving on Prospect Ridge Road. On West Bay Street, in the roundabout, sorry guys, we're going to make a left. And by the way, that's pretty much the end of the island as far as going north. You can walk from the roundabout right into the water. So we're going to go west on West Bay Street. We're going to go through a couple of roundabouts, and we're going to end up at the Sheraton Hotel. And this, by the way, is, in my opinion, one of the best parts of the island in terms of visually. It just looks really, really nice here, as opposed to in the south. There's kind of really not much going on down there. As far as those weird zigzag lines on the road, I have no idea. If you guys live in New Providence, let me know. I don't know what they mean. And that's it for this week's episode. Next week, I believe we should be able to head over to Atlantis.